Mindset shifts that grow wealth. Fast wealth grows first in the mind. Most people believe wealth grows in the bank account. It doesn't. Wealth grows first in the mind, then in habits, then in decisions. And only after that does it show up as money. That's why two people can earn the same income, live in the same city, face the same economy, and end up in completely different financial realities. One struggles year after year. The other steadily builds wealth, even through setbacks. The difference isn't luck. It isn't education. It isn't even opportunity. It's mindset. And here's the good news. Mindset is trainable. In this guide, we'll explore the most powerful mindset shifts that grow wealth fast. Not overnight fantasies, but shifts that immediately change how you think, earn, save, invest, and recover from mistakes. These are the same mental frameworks used by people who build wealth later in life, recover after financial loss, start businesses without privilege, break generational money cycles. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be young. You don't need to be fearless. You only need to think differently and act consistently. Let's begin. Shift 1. From how much do I make to how do I create value? One of the biggest mindset blocks to wealth is tying your financial future only to income. Most people ask, how much do I make per hour? What does this job pay? How can I get a raise? Wealthy thinkers ask a different question. What value do I create and who benefits from it? Why this matters. Income is limited by time. Value is not. When you focus only on income, you stay trapped in hourly thinking, paycheck dependency, fear of job loss. When you focus on value, you begin to see opportunities everywhere, problems as profit signals, skills as assets. For example, someone who works in real estate earns commissions. Someone who creates value in real estate builds systems, owns property, or connects buyers and sellers. Same industry, different mindset, different outcome. Fast wealth growth begins when you stop selling time and start creating value. Shift 2. From I can't afford it to how can I structure it? I can't afford it feels responsible, but it's often a conversation stopper, not a solution. Wealth builders rarely say, I can't afford it. They say, how can I structure this? What would need to change for this to work? Who already knows how to do this? This shift doesn't mean reckless spending. It means creative problem solving. For example, instead of, I can't afford to invest, ask, can I partner? Instead of, I can't start a business, ask, can I start small or test first? Instead of, I can't buy property, ask, can I wholesale, co-own, or seller finance? Wealth accelerates when you replace shutdown thinking with structural thinking. Money flows toward people who ask better questions. Shift 3. From fear of loss to tolerance for learning. Most people avoid wealth-building opportunities because they fear losing money, making mistakes, looking foolish. Wealthy thinkers accept one core truth. Loss is a teacher, not a verdict. This doesn't mean being careless. It means understanding that mistakes are tuition. Think about it. You didn't learn to walk without falling. You didn't learn to drive without stalling. You didn't learn relationships without heartbreak. Yet with money, people expect perfection. Fast wealth growth requires emotional resilience, not fearlessness. When you tolerate learning, you try sooner, you recover faster, you compound lessons. Those who avoid loss stay small. Those who learn from loss grow rich in wisdom, and eventually money. Shift 4. From I need more money to I need better systems. Many people believe their problem is insufficient income. Often, the real problem is poor systems. Systems decide where money goes, how decisions are made, how discipline is enforced, how progress is tracked. Wealth builders don't rely on willpower. They rely on systems that work even when motivation is low. Examples of wealth systems: automatic savings and investing, clear spending categories, business workflows, time-blocking income activities, regular financial reviews. Fast wealth growth happens when systems replace emotion. Money behaves better when rules are clear. Shift, Jar 5, from money is stressful to money is a tool. Your emotional relationship with money matters more than your income. If money feels like fear, shame, pressure, guilt, you will unconsciously avoid it or misuse it. Wealthy thinkers see money as a neutral tool that amplifies decisions. Money doesn't make you greedy, it reveals priorities. Money doesn't create character flaws, it magnifies what already exists. When you stop moralizing money, you start managing it better. This shift alone brings relief, and relief brings clarity. Shift, Jar 6, from short-term comfort to long-term alignment. Many people sacrifice their future for their present. They choose convenience over growth, comfort over discipline, spending over investing. Wealth builders flip the equation. They ask, will this decision still serve me in 5 years? This doesn't mean deprivation. It means intentional delay. Fast wealth growth comes from aligning today's actions with tomorrow's vision. Temporary discomfort often leads to permanent freedom. Shift Jar 7, from isolation to strategic relationships. No one builds wealth alone. Even the most independent success stories rely on mentors, partners, advisors, networks. Wealthy thinkers invest in proximity. They ask, who is already where I want to be? How can I learn from them? How can I provide value in return? Isolation keeps you stuck in your own thinking. Connection expands perspective. Fast wealth growth accelerates through shared wisdom. A first 7 mindset shifts. If there's one truth to take away from these first 7 mindset shifts, it's this. Wealth doesn't begin with money. It begins with awareness. So far, we've talked about creating value instead of chasing income, asking better questions instead of shutting down, learning from loss instead of fearing it, building systems instead of relying on willpower, seeing money as a tool, not a source of stress, choosing long-term alignment over short-term comfort, and understanding that wealth grows faster in the right relationships. None of these shifts require you to be rich first. They require you to be honest, intentional, and willing to think differently. And that's important because many people wait for money to change before they change. But the truth is, money follows mindset, not the other way around. If your thinking shifts, your decisions shift. If your decisions shift, your habits shift. And when habits shift, results are inevitable. You don't have to apply all of this at once. In fact, don't try to. Just ask yourself one question today. Which of these mindset shifts do I need most right now? Start there. Because wealth doesn't grow from pressure. It grows from clarity. And in part 2, we'll go even deeper into the internal beliefs, emotional patterns, and personal disciplines that separate people who try to build wealth from those who actually sustain it. This isn't about becoming someone else. It's about becoming more intentional, more grounded, and more aligned. You're not behind. You're building the foundation. And that's where real wealth begins. If this message resonated with you, here's what I'd like you to do next. Pause and reflect. Which of these mindset shifts challenged you the most? Leave a comment below. Type the number of the shift you're working on. Example, shift number 3, learning from loss. Subscribe to Golden Path to Wealth because in part 2, we're going deeper into the inner beliefs and daily disciplines that help people build and sustain wealth at any stage of life. And if you know someone who's trying to rebuild, restart, or rethink their financial future, share this video with them.